very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. So first we welcome Elaine and Denise. Now, how do you two know each other?
We met about 4 years ago when Elaine and her husband were looking to move to West Wales and they stayed at my bed and breakfast.
But the problem afterwards, she told me a few months later that she thought I was my husband's fancy woman and I was done on a dirty weekend.
Why, Denise, why did you think Elaine was her husband's fancy woman?
Well, when she came down to breakfast, she gave me no eye contact and he was
That's got fancy woman written all over it, Elaine. Right,
and she looks so much younger than Pete.
He will be pleased when he hears this.
That's fair. There's a lovely compliment in there somewhere.
They then came back another time and
Still
stayed
no eye
with us.
contact. Lots of...
We knew by then. We knew the truth.
What would you like to come up this afternoon, Elaine? What would be a great subject for you?
Geography? I shouldn't say that because if it comes up and I get it wrong, I should look a fool. Geography and natural history?
Natural history, geography, perfectly worthy subjects. Denise, how about you?
Literature, food and drink, bit of history, not too much.
Not too much history, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Well, very best of luck. It's great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Next, we welcome Ali and Lucy. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're a couple. I met Lucy in Freshers Week at university.
Whereabouts are you at university?
University of York.
I'm hoping you're also at University of York. You just don't make a habit of just going to Freshers Week.
No, we live together. We're in the same flat.
What do you do at university?
I do law.
Law. And you, Lucy, what are you reading?
English lit.
How long into the first term did it take you to get together?
Pretty much the end of the first
Yeah,
term,
it was,
like
it was a
December.
Christmas thing.
Yeah,
Christmas romance.
Oh. Well, that's wonderful. Ali, what do you do when you're not reading law?
I have done quite a bit of music in my life before joining university, and in between starting at York, I was in a band for 3 years.
What was the name of your band?
Elliot Minor.
Elliot Minor. Elliot Minor. Richard?
I do know Elliot Minor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. So you did a cover of Rule the World, didn't you, to Take That Song?
Yeah.
And I once played that to Gary Barlow.
You didn't?
Yeah. He was very impressed. I did indeed, honestly.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah. And you're in Elliot Minor. Goodness,
Well, not
it's
anymore.
like
Not anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, they're rubbish.
Well, they were quite good. And then now, since I was...
Have they gone for good, or have they just got rid of the keyboardist?
They haven't gone for good. Everyone's taking time out to do their own thing right now, so...
That's usually a good sign for a band.
Well, very well done, Ali. It's great to have you on the show. And next, we welcome back Juanita and Cheryl. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your last chance. Remind us how you did.
We went out in the first round. I got the question wrong, but it was her fault.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then she pulled a 9-pointer out of the hat in the second round.
I'm trying to think what a 9-pointer is. Sounds... And what fits in a hat? What do you like to do, Juanita?
Well, I do lots of things. I mean, I write a bit of poetry.
What sort of poetry do you write?
Comic verse.
Comic verse?
I do a lot of comic verse, yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. You wouldn't like to come up with a comic verse for us, would you?
Well, Alexander and Richard, you'll see, on that Pointless show on BBC. As a pair, they're a hit.
Oh, hang on.
Hold on a minute. I don't know. I don't like the way this is going.
No, this is the BBC. Because they're so full of wit. Comic banter and grand repartee.
Oh, what about that?
Very good.
You are full of wit.
Well, I like to think that together we're full of wit, which makes us both half-wits.
Yeah. Very good. Oh, thank you very much for that, Juanita. We might have to come back to you for some more. But very best of luck to the pair of you. Great to have you back. And finally, we've got Paul and Nick. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're brother-in-laws.
Brothers-in-law?
Yeah. Well, he's not actually a full brother-in-law. He's my half-brother-in-law. Because he's not married yet. We are engaged, but he's not married yet, that's all. So I'm his half-brother-in-law, obviously.
Yeah.
Of course.
You be whatever you like. What do you do, Nick?
I'm a housing officer for a local authority.
Very good indeed. And how about you, Paul?
I'm an electrician for the same local authority.
Do you work together on projects often?
No.
Occasionally.
Not after that last time.
Oh, only if I have to.
Yeah, only if he has to, yeah.
Nick, what would you like to see come up this afternoon? What would be a great subject for you?
A nice bit of science fiction would be good. Or comics. Some really pointless stuff. I've got a mind full of pointless information, I've been told.
Well, you've come to the right place,
Yeah.
I'd like to think. Now, Paul, how about you?
Anything except literature and whatever he's just said.
Perfect. That's brilliant.
That'll do me nicely.
Fantastic. Well, we will find out more about all of you throughout the show. There is only one person left for me to introduce. He's got 99 problems, but the facts ain't one. He's my pointless friend. He's Rich.
Hiya. Hello. Hiya. How are you this afternoon? You well?
I mustn't grumble. How about
Excellent. You? Yeah, not bad at all, not bad at all. We've got one returning pair today, and that's Juanita and Cheryl. We didn't see much of them last time, so it's a very open field, I think. Quite often before the show, I have a little look at the questions to see how I would have done. Round 2 today, I think I did worse on than any question in pointless history. So maybe it's just me, or maybe it's very difficult.
OK, we'll look forward to that one. Thanks, Richard. Well, now, we've put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,500. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points. So try and avoid those. OK, our first category this afternoon is football. Football. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many England World Cup squads since 2000 as they could. England World Cup squads since 2000. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any player who was in the final World Cup squad for the 2002, 2006 or 2010 World Cups. Any player who was in the final squad. They didn't actually have to play in the World Cup finals because some players don't, but anyone who was in any of those 3 squads, please. OK, thank you very much, Richard. Now, Elaine and Denise, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So, Elaine, you are the first person to answer this brilliant question. I think you know all of the squads since 2000. It's just a matter of picking a nice obscure name.
It's not very obscure. Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard. You're going to go for Frank
very.
Lampard. OK, let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said Frank Lampard. It's right. 41. 41 for Frank Lampard. Richard?
Yeah, well done, Elaine. If it's a tough category for you, it's all about damage limitation. He played it every minute of the 2006 campaign and was also there in 2010. Famously scored that goal that never was against Germany.
Indeed.
Didn't he? We would have only lost sort of 7-2 if that had gone in.
Yeah. So then, Lucy, we come to you. We are looking for players in England's FIFA World Cup squad since 2000.
Well, this is possibly the worst thing that could have possibly come up.
Do you follow football at all?
No.
Even vaguely? I mean, are you sort of dimly aware of...
I'm aware of the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's probably as far as it stretches. I will go for Emil Heskey.
Emil Heskey. You've pulled a 9-pointer out of the hat there. Emil Heskey, let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said Emil Heskey. Very well done, Lucy. Down it goes. 11. That's a great answer. Emil Heskey, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Lucy. Played in 2002, 2010. I didn't think she was going to say that, did you?
No.
I said, I know nothing. I thought you were going to say Sir Bobby Charlton. That's a good answer. Where did Emil Heskey come from? I don't mean...
I just thought that was quite an obvious one. I only know about 3, and that was one of them.
Done very well.
Yeah.
Very well done, Lucy. So, Juanita.
Well, I'm so glad Lucy knew 3 because I only know 1. And it's going to be an early bath for me, I'm afraid, this time. The only England football player whose name I could tell you is David Beckham.
David Beckham.
The only one I know.
OK, well, David Beckham. Let's see if that's right. You're hoping to score as few points as possible with David Beckham. Let's see if he's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said him. David Beckham. 63. Not bad. 37 better than 100. Richard.
Yeah, again, you know, it's not 100. The only England player to score in 3 World Cups, David Beckham.
Now then, Nick, we come to you. So remember, we're looking for England players in any of the England World Cup squads since 2000.
I'll go for Neville, Gary Neville.
Gary Neville. You are saying Gary Neville. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Gary Neville. 12 for Gary Neville. Richard.
Yeah, good answer. Played in 98, but also played in 2006. So a correct answer here.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores. Well, she said it was the worst possible subject for her. She then scored the best score in the past. Lucy, that's wonderful. Score of 11. Then up 1 to Nick and Paul on 12. Then up to 41 for Elaine and Denise. And then 63, Juanita and Cheryl. So on the next pass, really, it's between Denise and Cheryl. We're going to have to tussle out to see who can score the lowest. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for players in England's FIFA World Cup squad since 2000. Paul. Nick did pretty well there with Gary Neville. The high scorers on 63 are Juanita and Cheryl. If you can score 50 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round. I'm guessing this might be quite a good subject for you.
Not really. I don't really watch much football.
Really?
Yeah. Let's think. I feel quite stupid now. OK, I'll go with Phil Neville.
Phil Neville?
Yeah.
OK. You're going to go Phil Neville.
Yeah.
Here is your red line. If Phil Neville gets you below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. Let's see. Phil Neville, is it right? How many people said it?
Oh, no.
Bad luck, Paul. I'm afraid Phil Neville is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That takes your total up to 112. Richard.
That's really unlucky, Paul. He was sort of in contention for all 3 squads, but never made it into any of them. Phil and Gary Neville hold a record for England appearances by brothers, so they beat the Charltons by 1 cap. But Phil Neville hadn't played in 2002, 2006 or 2010, I'm afraid.
OK, bad luck, Paul. So, Cheryl, you've been thrown a lifeline by Paul there. Paul and Nick are the current high scorers on 112. If you can score 48 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round.
The last time I watched football, Gordon Banks was in goal for England. I mean, that's how long ago that was. The only name I can think of is Ashley Cole. Simply, he's married to Cheryl, so... or was.
All this preamble from people saying, oh, I know absolutely nothing about football. Straight out with a brilliant answer. I say that. I say brilliant answer. It might be wrong. Who knows? There is a red line. Ashley Cole. It gets you below that red line. You are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Ashley Cole. There we are, Cheryl. Well done, you. You've done it. Very, very good. Scores you 31, takes your total up to 94. Richard.
Yeah, played in all 3 of those World Cups. He's a distant relation of Mariah Carey and was briefly an even closer relation of Cheryl Cole, but not anymore.
He's a distant relation of Mariah Carey?
Yep.
I never knew that.
Did you not?
Did anyone else know that? Did you know that?
No.
Well, he is.
Are they like sort of half brothers-in-law?
Yeah, they're half brothers-in-law. Yeah.
No, it's not that close.
That's what they are. They're cousins. They're distant cousins.
Distant cousins. Anyway, there we are. Now then, Ali and Lucy, you are in a fantastic position. Doesn't matter what you say here, Ali. You are through to the next round. You'll never overtake Paul and Nick's high score of 112. Bearing that in mind, Ali, why not go out on a limb, see if you can find a pointless answer? There must be a pointless squad member.
There must be. I've got loads of footballers' names running around my head, and no one's mentioned a goalkeeper yet, I don't think, so I'm going to go for David James.
David James, you are saying. Well, as I said, you are through to the next round, whatever happens. So there's no red line for you. Let's see, David James. Is it right? How many people said it? David James. 20 for David James, perfectly decent score, takes your total up to 31.
Yeah, well played, Ali. He was actually the oldest player at the 2010 tournament, David James. He's 62.
Right, now then, Denise.
Oh, this
41.
isn't my subject.
It isn't?
Not really, no.
You are on 41. The high scorers remain Paul and Nick on 112. That means if you can score 70 or less,
Okay.
you are through to the next round.
I'm trying to remember when I've sat with my sons watching football. I'll try Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham, you are saying. Teddy Sheringham. Let's see if that is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Teddy Sheringham. It's right! And you are through. Look at that, Denise! The best score of the whole round. 2 points for Teddy Sheringham. Takes your total up to 43. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Denise. I think scored very, very low score because he was really reaching the end of his career in 2002. So people, I think, didn't realise he played then. And one of the pointless answers actually bears that out as well. There's only 4 pointless answers of all the names of any one of those squads. So let's take a look, see how you did at home. Martin Keown played in 2002, the Arsenal defender. He was pointless. Danny Murphy, who was in the 2002 squad, withdrew from injury, now Fulham captain. See, Gareth Southgate was a pointless answer. Very famous, but I think people perhaps forgot that he was still around in 2002. And Kieran Dyer was also a pointless answer. Very well done if you said any of those 4 at home. Let's look at the top scorers, the ones that most people from our 100 said. John Terry on 43. Wayne Rooney on 61, and David Beckham up there on 63, the most popular answer of all.
Thank you very much, Richard. So, at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, Paul and Nick. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, Phil Neville.
Not a lot I can say about that, really, is there?
Yeah, that's a shame.
I'll never live it down.
A great shame. We have to say goodbye to you now, but we will see you again next time.
OK.
Very best of luck then. I'm sure you will go further than round 1. Meantime, thanks very much for playing. Great contest. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only room for 2 pairs, obviously, in the head-to-head round, so one of the teams in front of me will be leaving us at the end of this round. Try and make sure it's not you. The category for round 2 this afternoon is Hollywood. Hollywood. Of course, this is the one you thought was really difficult.
Yeah, well, I did very badly on it.
You did very badly.
Doesn't mean it's difficult, but I did very badly.
Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And our question concerns Hollywood couples and their films. Hollywood couples and their films. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you a list of 6 famous Hollywood couples on each pass. We asked 100 people in which film did they first appear together. The more obscure answers will score you fewer points. The incorrect answers will score you 100 points. So there's 12 couples in all, 12 films to try and guess at home.
OK, so we are looking for the feature films in which these famous couples first appeared together. And we have got Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Courtney Cox and David Arquette, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. I'll read those one more time. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Courtney Cox and David Arquette, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Oh, they are tough. But they're going to be tough for everyone. So this is going to be a very high-scoring round. What are you thinking, Elaine?
Nothing. I can't even think of anything. I'm going to have to say Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Cleopatra.
OK, you're going to say Cleopatra for Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Is that a guess?
Yes.
We're pretty sure they were in that film together.
Yeah,
the question is, were they in another film before that? You're going to say Cleopatra, though, for Burton and Taylor. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. It's right. Very well done, Elaine. Down it goes. Look at that, 27. That's a great score. Very well done. 27 for Cleopatra. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Elaine, from 1963, Cleopatra.
Now then, Lucy. Lucy, what are you thinking of this board behind me?
Well, when you first announced the question, I thought, yeah, okay, I think I'll be okay at this, but I honestly don't know any of those. I'm really just going to have to completely guess and say Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, Edward Scissorhands.
OK, you're going to say Edward Scissorhands for Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder. That's a stab in the dark.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's wrong.
Well, let's find out. Is it right? And if it is, how many people said Edward Scissorhands? It's right! 13! Lucy does it again. A fantastic score. She says she doesn't know. She does know.
Yeah, well done, Lucy. It's a real Emil Heskey of an answer, that one.
Wow.
Yeah, that was from 1990. When they split up, Johnny Depp had a tattoo that said Winona Forever. And when they split up, he had the NA crossed out, so it says Wino Forever. It's now his tattoo.
Thank you very much. Now then, Juanita. Remember, we are looking for the feature films in which these famous couples first appeared together.
I would have gone for Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. It's the only one that I know. I know the film with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, but I can't remember the title. And I don't even know if Michael Douglas was in this, but I'm going to go for Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas in Zorro.
Zorro, you are going to say, for Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Zorro. Bad luck, Juanita. That's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry. Richard?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Catherine Zeta-Jones was in it, but no Michael Douglas. Anthony Hopkins starred opposite her in that. Let's take a look at all the answers, though. Let's start with that one. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas is very tough. It would have just scored you 3 points, so well done if you got it at home. Well done if you said Traffic. Traffic was the first film they were in. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman have been in 3 films together, but which was first?
Days of Thunder.
It was Days of Thunder, yeah. And very handy at 10 points there. Courtney Cox and David Arquette. That Scream was the answer there. It's actually the top answer on the board with 40. And the Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall answer?
To have and to have not.
To have and to have not is the correct answer. And that was pointless. So very well done if you said that. That would have added some money to the jackpot.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Lucy, she's done it again. Lowest score in the past, 13. Very, very well done. A little bit over double that is Elaine and Denise's score of 27. And quite a lot over double that is Juanita and Cheryl's high score of 100. So, Cheryl, you have your work cut out in this next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more famous couples on the board, and here they are. We have Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, Warren Beatty and Annette Bening, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. I'll read those one more time. Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, Warren Beatty and Annette Bening, and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. And remember, we are looking for the films in which these couples first starred together, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Cheryl, I think you'll know a couple of these.
Believe it or not, my part-time job involves working in an art cinema, and I don't think I know any of these. If they had been Hollywood musical couples, I might have had a better idea. I'll make a stab at Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis in... I think he was in one called The Black Knight.
The Black Knight, you are saying, for Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. There it is, third one down. Let's see if that's right. If that is right, that might be a spectacular low answer. Let's see if it is, and if it is, let's see how many people said The Black Knight. Bad luck, Cheryl. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points, and it takes your total up to an unbeatable 200, I'm afraid. Richard?
Yeah, unlucky. I won't give the correct answer just in case Ali or Denise want to have a go at that one.
OK, then. Ali. Now, the high scorers are Cheryl and Juanita on 200 points. They're way ahead of you. Even if you score 100 points, you are still through to the head-to-head.
There's one that I'm pretty sure I know there. And that's Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. I think that's Twilight.
You're saying Twilight for Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Twilight. Very well done. 45. Takes your total up to 58. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Ali. Safe and sound. They've filmed 5 of those films together already from the Stephanie Meyer series of books.
Wow.
I've seen a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So then, Denise, you're through, come what may.
Am I through?
It
Right.
doesn't matter. You'll never overtake Cheryl and Juanita's high score of 200. So, Denise.
I'm really stuck. The only one I think might be right is Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Sounds good to me. Let's see if Mr. and Mrs. Smith is right for Angelina and Brad. Let's see how many people said Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's right. High score, 68, but doesn't matter, you're through anyway. Your total is 95. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Denise. That film won the MTV Awards in 2005 for Best Fight and Best Kiss, involving the two of them. It's not a bad combination, is it? Let's take a look at all the rest of the answers. Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Philippe, do you know that one?
Don't know.
That's it's a version of Liaison Dangereuse, Cruel Intentions, would have scored you 12 points. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening is Bugsy. That would have scored 1 point. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. That's in the famously terrible Gilly.
Oh, nice.
Would have scored you 2 points. And the Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis one, there's no shame in getting it wrong, because it's a pointless answer. It was Houdini. Houdini was when they first matched up. It was a pointless answer. And I think the film you're thinking of is The Black Shield of Falworth, which was the year after Houdini.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Cheryl and Juanita. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was a very tough round, that one, wasn't it? But
And if you're going to fail spectacularly.
you have. You've done exactly. You know, there's no shame at all in going out with a high score like that. You've tried very hard.
You know, Juanita wrote us a poem.
Yes, Richard.
I've written Juanita a little poem. Do you want to hear it?
No.
On here?
Okay.
Yes.
Our Scottish contestant Juanita was convinced she'd become a world beater. But to Cheryl's great sorrow, she went and said Zorro, allowing everyone else to defeat her.
On which note, I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you. But thank you so much, Ben. You've been wonderful contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Now, well done, Ali and Lucy, Elaine and Denise. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £2,500. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer. but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many original Warsaw Pact countries as they could. Warsaw Pact countries. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for the common English name of any of the 8 original countries who joined the Warsaw Pact in 1955. We're looking for the names of the countries as they were when they signed in 1955. See if you can get all 8 at home. It's quite tough to get all 8, I think.
OK, now, Ali and Lucy, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. Also, because you played best throughout the show so far, we have this little treat for you.
You and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. You and me, we can ride up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world.
Oh, what about that? So that was Elliot Minor you were listening to there. Oh, yeah. Anyway, sorry. And all of which preamble, it was means of saying, you get to go first. Warsaw Pact countries.
This is a risk. And Lucy came up with it.
We have no idea what it is.
We're not sure what the Warsaw Pact is, even though I did history A level. Lucy suggested Japan.
Thanks.
But I quite like that answer, I think.
OK, Japan. We have Japan. Elaine and Denise, you can talk out loud if you like, without any further discussion.
I think they're the countries that were behind the Iron Curtain. So Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, maybe Albania, don't know. But I think we'll go for a safe one. Poland, because you've got Warsaw there. Poland.
You're going to say Poland? So we have Japan and we have Poland. Ali and Lucy have said Japan. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Japan. Bad luck. Bad luck. Elaine and Denise have gone for Poland. At this stage, all it has to be is correct. Poland.
Come on. Oh no, it's not going to go.
It's right. Very well done. 66 is scores. So after one question, Elaine and Denise are up 1-0. Richard?
Yeah, Japan not in the Warsaw Pact, I'm afraid. Warsaw Pact, it's the Eastern European countries, essentially. Let's take a look at all 8. You actually said, there's a pointless answer here, and you did say it,
yeah.
Albania. You would have just added some money to the jackpot there.
To take a risk.
Well done if you said that at home then. Bulgaria 15, Romania 17, alongside East Germany. Soviet Union 18, Hungary 21, and Czechoslovakia 21, and then Poland, I guess because it's Warsaw Pact, right at the top on 66.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So here is your second question. Ali and Lucy, you have to win this point to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many rising damp actors as they could. Rising damp actors.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the actors credited with appearing in 20 or more episodes of Rising Damp, please.
And Elaine and Denise, it's your turn to go first this time.
We'll go for Francis de la Tour.
Francis de la Tour, you are saying. Ali and Lucy, you have to win this point to stay in the game.
I've literally got nothing.
It's a little bit before our time.
John Cleese.
John Cleese. We have Francis de la Tour and John Cleese. OK, Elaine and Denise, you've said Francis de la Tour. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it.
It is right, surely it's right.
It is right. It is right. 22. Now then, Ali and Lucy, you have gone complete shot in the dark, John Cleese. It's unfortunate because this will decide whether or not you stay in the game. John Cleese, was he in Rising Damp? And if he was, how many people said him? bad luck, as I think you probably feared. That's an incorrect answer, which means after 2 questions, Elaine and Denise are straight through to the final, 2-0. Richard?
Yeah, it's tough. If you don't know them, you don't know them. It's a difficult one. There's 4 answers on the board, the 4 big actors in it. Let's take a look. There's Don Warrington was the best answer. He played Philip, would have scored 13. He was in Strictly Come Dancing a few years ago as well. Francis de la Tour with 22. Richard Beckinsale, who was also in Porridge, of course, with 26. And Leonard Rossiter, who was Rigsby, scored 45. Well done if you got all 4.
Thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, it's Ali and Lucy. 2 really tough categories for you there.
Oh, no, I should use some logic there, probably.
We did think Poland, but we thought, surely that's obvious.
But anyway.
We will see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. You've been fantastic contestants. Thanks so much for playing. Ali and Lucy, brilliant. But for Elaine and Denise, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £2,500. Well, congratulations, Elaine and Denise. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. Very good. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £2,500. There it is. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are American novelists, fashion, pop legends.
Don't want pop legends. No. Pop legends, no. What about we doing American novelists?
I know some, but I don't know modern ones. Should we try it?
Yeah, because
All right.
fashion.
You
I'm not
right?
Sure. Yeah, American novelists.
American novelists.
American novelists it is. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Michael Crichton novels as they could. Michael Crichton novels. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any novels written by Michael Crichton and originally published under his own name prior to April 2011. No non-fiction or short stories or journalism, just any novels of Michael Crichton, please.
That was,
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £2,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Jurassic Park, you're right, was it?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I was
Jurassic
thinking
Park,
traditional ones.
I haven't got a clue.
I haven't got any clue whatsoever.
No, you're right, it was the Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton. Oh, God,
we'll have to make some up.
Yeah.
Would he have written something called The Swamp? Follow up to Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. I can't even think. I know when they come up. I can't even think of. I think we should have had fashion.
Pop legends we should have had.
No, I just can't think of anything.
We've got to make some up quickly then.
Well, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 2. And 3.
We have Jurassic Park.
5 seconds left.
I haven't got no. Shadow and The Swamp.
OK, your time is up. Your time is up. Oh, you poor
We should
things.
have had fashion or legends.
It's
Should have had pop legends.
awful this happens, and slightly hilarious. Because what I now need from you are 3 Michael Crichton novels.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Come on, Denise.
Shadow.
Shadow.
And The Swamp.
And The Swamp. There we are. Now, of those 3 answers, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
The Swamp.
OK, The Swamp. We'll put The Swamp last.
Put Shadow in second place.
Yeah.
Shadow in second place and Jurassic Park first. OK, let's put them on the board in that order, and here they are. Jurassic Park, Shadow, and The Swamp. There they are. Right. Michael Crichton novels, that was the category. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that £2,500 jackpot. Let's see if Jurassic Park is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Jurassic Park. It's right. If this were to go all the way down to 0, you never know, while 100 people might not know their Michael Crichton novels, then you will leave here with £2,500. I was cut off there by the number 22, I'm afraid. That's not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more shots at today's jackpot. Let's just say Shadow was a Michael Crichton novel.
I'd kiss her if it was. But I don't think it's going
What would
to
you
be.
do with £2,500?
Go on holiday.
And so would I. A holiday.
A holiday. Very good. OK, well, back to the present. We are looking for Michael Crichton novels. Your second answer, Shadow. There it is. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. If it's correct and it goes down to 0, you will leave here with £2,500. Shadow. No.
Fancy that.
Bad luck. I think we suspected that might have been the case. You only have 1 more chance to win today's jackpot, and it's all resting on The Swamp. Someone has written a novel called The Swamp.
Not him.
Was it Michael Crichton?
No.
Well, this was the answer you chose to put last. Let's put it to the test. Is it right? If it is right and it goes down to 0, you leave here with £2,500. The Swamp. No. Bad luck. Well, unfortunately, that was an incredibly tough category, and therefore you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so you don't win today's jackpot of £2,500, which rolls over onto the next show. But you have been fantastic contestants, and you do get to take home our pointless trophy. So very well done. Oh, dear, Richard.
Yeah, pretty tough. A lot of his novels, of course, made into films. There's some big scorers. Jurassic Park's actually the biggest scorer, but Jurassic Park: The Lost World is there, Andromeda Strain, there's Disclosure, Timeline, all of those were scorers. There's only 4 pointless answers, actually, on this list. Let's take a look at all of them, see if you've got any of these at home. There's Eaters of the Dead, about an epic Viking journey. Rising Sun, as an LA murder investigation. State of Fear, an eco-terrorist novel, and something he directed the film, and this is a great train robbery, which is set in Victorian London. Sean Connery was in the film of that.
What a shame.
So there we are. Did you know any of those pointless answers?
Never read any Michael Crichton.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Elaine and Denise, but
Thank
it's
you.
been brilliant having you on the show. Thanks so much for
very
playing.
much.
Thank you. Nobody's won the jackpot today, so it rolls over, which means on the next show we will be playing for £3,500. Join us next time to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.